Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com, and today we're standing beside this Volkswagen air-cooled engine. We've got lots of air-cooled projects on the go here at our shop, and when it comes to air-cooled Beetle engines or Volkswagen blocks, there's lots of options in terms of sizes and specifications and appearance. So this engine that we're building is for one of the projects here. It's a Replica. It's a 1957 Porsche 356. So it came with a standard or stock engine block, and you'll see in a previous video that engine had quite a few issues in terms of leaks and different carburation, and the alternator was damaged and the bushings were gone, so it had quite a few issues. So basically what we've done is we're starting from scratch. We're also upgraded substantially. So what this engine is now, so we started with the original block. So this is a 73 or 74 Volkswagen Beetle engine block. And we'll share a bunch of photos on the assembly of this engine. There's a previous video where I show the engine block where we had split the case. We had installed new bearings, upgraded crank, and then we assembled it, and we had the connecting rods and ready to put the pistons in. So you saw that in a previous video. So now what we've done is we've continued with the block, and we've installed the pistons and pots, and then we installed the heads, the push rods, and that sort of thing down on both sides. You'll notice in the front, this is the location of the oil pump. We have an upgraded oil pump that's on back order that will be coming in the next week or so. It's going to be a high volume aftermarket oil pump, which will have a supply and a return line for more oil distribution. For the front, we have a balanced pulley that we'll be putting on here, and then we've upgraded. You can see the wires here. This distributor assembly is now upgraded. It's now going to be electronic, which we'll be installing to the coil. We just have the wires sitting here for now. So with the fuel supply, because we've upgraded or made so many changes to this engine, we have these beautiful empty dual carbs for each side. These are a direct copy of the Weber, and there's different categories of them. These carbs will be set perfect for this engine. So we took this 1590 roughly cc motor, and we went larger with pistons to 1640 or 1641 cc. From there we have upgraded with a scat crank, and we have a more aggressive camshaft and camshaft gears. So by doing that, the next thing we wanted to do is give it better carburation and better breathing. So we've got these big setups here. And then we've upgraded the alternator. So the alternator that was on this Porsche Replica was damaged, the bushings were worn out, and the pulley was grooved in. So we went with an upgraded, more powerful alternator, and then we went with the high polished chrome look for appearance. We've cleaned up and used the original doghouse that someone had chromed previously. So we have the cover plate and the doghouse, which is chrome, with the new oil cooler in behind. And then we have this billet style belt pulley system, which will match the bullet style polished pulley that'll be on the bottom of the crank. So appearance wise it'll look quite smart. There's going to be an aluminum bracket with a shutoff plate. Typically this air-cooled motor would have a mechanical fuel pump right here in this spacing. We'll be putting a high polished billet plate that has a clamp style, and that's where we'll be putting our high intensity coil to go with the electronic ignition. So it'll be a little bit nicer in appearance looking here. And then with these larger carburetors, we're going to have an electric fuel pump, and then we'll have a gauge with specific setting for the carbs, because they're going to require approximately 3.5 psi constant. So this is the front of the engine, and then as we turn it sideways, you'll see that we've got the upgraded MP covers. They're aluminum cover with the louvers on them, so it's a conversion kit instead of using just a plain valve cover. So the valves have all been redone and set, and adjusted. And then it's quite dirty right now, but we'll be cleaning off and polishing the chrome here that goes on the covers. And then you'll see the brand new, and they're polished here. I think the camera can pick it up on the top. It's got the billet top covers, and they're by MP. So it's an exact copy, if you will, of the Webers, and we've installed probably 5 of these kits, and extremely happy with this MP setup. And it has all of your adjustments here, and everything is brand new. So we'll be adding the components and the arms and so on later. And then if we turn this motor around to the back, you'll see on the side here, in the previous video I had it in my hand where I mentioned how important it is to have the engine oil cooler replaced whenever you do an oil or an air-cooled motor, and we have it installed here in the back of the doghouse. And then around the back you can see this in a previous video was all rusty and dirty, and we've cleaned it, removed the rust, and painted it so that there won't be any more rust here. We'll end up polishing this chrome a little bit more once we have everything assembled. And then we have a new flywheel, and we've adjusted the play on the back of the crankshaft. We used a special tool. So now we have a chrome moly, high performance, balanced flywheel. And then we'll be adding a high performance clutch, which we have. So it'll have a high performance clutch added to this for more enjoyable driving and shifting, because our client wants to drive this a little more aggressively up and down the streets kind of thing. So basically visually it looks quite pleasing. And then we have this exhaust system that we'll probably use. We have to dry fit it to make sure that it will clear the back belly pan of the 356 Porsche body. I'm pretty sure it will work. What this is a genuine Volkswagen, made by Volkswagen in Germany, and it's a true header system with the dual pipes coming out. And this one is set up, just to give you an idea, we'll just kind of slide it on here. So appearance wise, it'll be quite a sharp look. You're not really going to see this section. It'll be under the belly pan part of the Porsche, but the tailpipes, you'll see those. I'm not a fan of the yellow paint here. We'll probably clean that up and do something different, probably black. I don't really care for the yellow here, but with the header type, these are a tuned exhaust pipe going into a tuned muffler, so it'll give it quite a good sound, and there won't be very much restriction. So with this carburetor setup and the heavy-duty crank and cam gearing with electronic ignition, this should be quite a happy engine. So once again, this is going to be going in the 57 Porsche 356 Replica. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.